didn't just fall in a time machine back to November 2017. We're really reviewing this.
Welcome to Busted Speakers. I'm Cam,
And I am Alex.
and we like Taylor Swift.
We do. We're existing, committed fans.
I just want to repeat that. We like Taylor Swift. We are fans.
We both like the Lover album.
Yes.
We both like the 1989 album quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. And we are looking forward to whatever she does next.
Yes, we are active fans of her music. 1989 got me into pop music effectively. I enjoy her music.
Same on both counts.
However,
Having said that, let's talk about Reputation, shall we?
well, we will, but I don't want to.
Alex, be nice.
You made this happen. Whatever happens
Yeah,
in
I
this
did.
episode is down to you.
Hey, throw me under the bus, why don't you? Throw me under the tour bus. Joke's on you, there's no tour buses right now because nobody's on tour.
Ah, you won that time. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I actually completely skipped this album on release. I just pretended it didn't exist. And on my part, to be fair, that was maybe not entirely fair because there are a lot of decent to good to great even material on here. She's still Taylor Swift. I'm still a fan of Taylor Swift. So there's a lot to take away here. However,
So, before we get further, I just want to, share the kernel of the idea that led to us making this video. I thought it would be interesting for us, having seen the Miss Americana documentary, to go back and see what we think of Reputation now that that documentary has, shown, just a peek behind the curtain. Some people said that it was a little too sympathetic and flattering, but I don't really know what a lot else there could have been to it. Like maybe a deeper exploration of what it was like recording and writing Reputation, because it kind of glossed over that. I mean, it glossed over everything before the Lover sessions and the build up to that album, but at the same time, there wasn't a whole lot of attention given to her thought process behind recording and writing everything on Reputation, even though there was a lot of talk about the way her self-image shattered, and you can kind of understand a little bit, but it's just one page of a whole book that could be written about it.
yeah, a lot of artists we like and I respect have missteps, and that's fine. She's already overcame this misstep with Lover. Like we say, we both like that album, right?
Yes.
However, even having seen Miss Americana, I can say I feel like I know a little bit more about her. I'm more sympathetic towards her. I like her quite a bit more, and I just feel like I understand her more as a person. However, okay, even with seeing Miss Americana, I do not believe my opinion of this album has changed in any way. I still think it was opened by 3 of her worst songs. I think it has an additional 2 of her worst songs on the track list as well. A couple of other songs that just are there. I just don't think she's good at opening singles for her albums at all. Even for Lover, which I said I liked. It started with Me and You Need to Calm Down. Another 2 of her worst songs. So it didn't help that the fact that this album, I just did not want to hear it back in the day because it didn't even have a song I liked from it from the singles until the 4th one. By that point, I felt it was too little too late. Like I say, 5 of her worst songs just in this album. I don't think I like this any more than I would have back in 2017.
I don't either. It's frustrating, especially looking back and with all the talk about it centering on, the whole thing of the old Taylor is dead and now she's trying to play the bad guy. It's for all the discussion about that and what she was trying to do and whether who was the bad guy in the whole Kanye situation. Just with the recent revelation that the original recording of the phone conversation might have been a lie. It's does any of that change any of this? It's so hard to tell. It isn't helped by the fact that there's no consistency on the album. There's songs here that are Taylor playing this role of, the new Taylor, the bad guy in this situation. There's also some just regular old Taylor songs, and then there's songs that feel like they're in character or whatever.
Yeah, there's just some classic Taylor songs on here as well, so it doesn't even keep up with that concept consistently, the old Taylor's dead one.
So, that's the big problem with it lyrically. There's just no consistency, which means there's no tone, there's no real feeling that, there's any introspection to this album. It just feels like she's trying something different, like she's, putting on a costume, like in the ending of the video. But, like with
Yeah.
all the Taylors through history lined up. But the weak lyrical bent on this album is not mitigated at all by the very lacking music. So, like, what are your big issues with this one, Alex?
Well, it's not just bad, it's annoying because in even some of the worst songs, there's a good part to it or a potential part that could have been used for a better song that are dragged down by poor production choices that just don't suit her at all. I know Max Martin produced some of this. I feel like this is some of his most misguided production choices ever on a couple of songs I'll get to really soon. Okay, I'm just going to run down the track list with problems I have with it. Ready for It instantly has a really bad pseudo hip hop flow from Taylor, really nasty, grimy production. Overall, I just don't like it. It's a bad song. But it also has one of her best melodies ever with In the Middle of the Night in My Dreams. That is one of her catchiest melodies. Like, is it worth listening for that good part of the song when three-quarters of the rest of it is bad?
No, and like that's really what you can say about the a lot of the rest of the album, because like I feel like, I know I'm exaggerating here, but it feels like almost every song has a rap break in it, which
Well,
she's not suited for.
I wouldn't say every song, but definitely a few
Yeah,
of them.
I know I'm exaggerating, but
Yeah, yeah. Endgame is another one of those. Now, this actually kind of works when the guest artist Future, who is a rapper, is performing because it is like a rap song with a rap beat and he's a rapper. But Taylor combined with him would almost be okay because it is like a pop song with a rap feature, except the pop singer is also trying to be a rapper. And then you add Ed Sheeran. I don't know why they put him in here. I know 2017 was like a big year for him, but I also think he's actually one of the most embarrassing artists around right now. Like, while he tries to be edgy and cool on this really weak posse cut, I guess you could call it, I'm just, no. Yep, that's just another poor song. I Did Something Bad, just another shit song, let's be honest.
yep.
I mean, the problem here is that the chorus is kind of catchy when she does the I did something bad, but it feels so good. Like the chorus is actually catchy. It's a good song buried under poor production choices, and the horrendous vocal glitching after the chorus is just so bad. Honestly, like I hate being so negative about the worst songs on here, but they're just all so bad.
Yeah, like the worst thing for me is just like how all of the problems seem to exist in every song in varying degrees. So it's like, and they're not even like that diverse from each other musically. Like, I mean, you got something that stands out as significantly as Look What You Made Me Do for all the wrong
Oh
reasons.
God,
But like all these other songs, I couldn't tell you which one is which except for like a couple of them that are kind of good.
you, Cam, you made me listen to Look What You Made Me Do again. Like, what the hell, man?
Are you saying I need to look what I made you do?
Oh God.
We're gonna kill each other one of these days.
Yeah, I mean, before Look What You Made Me Do, the album almost started to get good again. Don't Blame Me is the first decent song, even though it has like weird dubstep aspects. It's for some reason doesn't completely wreck the song, and it kind of has a lot of power in the choruses in spite of slash because of it. And then we just had a plain good song with Delicate, I think. I didn't expect to like it because of the treated vocal part in the beginning. It's like a vocodered vocal part, but it's just a really inherently well written song, and the isn't it, delicate parts really hooked me in. That's a good song. And then it goes into Look What You Made Me Do. Oh my god.
Yeah. Good.
Pretty much the worst song she's ever done, I'll be honest.
Fair.
I mean, there are other terrible songs on here, and Bad Blood isn't exactly good, but this song, I don't know what she was trying to do with this. I don't know if she thought it was like, yeah, this is really badass and cool. It's just completely heinous. No amount of listening to this will ever make me even remotely appreciate it. Complete flop, embarrassing full badass execution of it, just a complete misstep. Terrible, terrible.
Yeah. One of the biggest problems, like even ignoring the fact that like the whole situation, like everything leading up to this album and everything since is just so obtuse and obscure that like nobody is ever going to know the whole story. Nobody's ever going to know who was right and who was wrong. Nobody's going to know how bad Taylor ever was in any of this. But it's the fact that she can't sell it vocally. And don't get me wrong, she has a beautiful voice, and she's just gotten better at using it with every album.
Yeah.
But she cannot pull off whatever she's trying to pull off with all of these, hard edged, quote unquote hard edged songs trying to play a bad character. It's not convincing.
She's like taken what made 1989 a really good album and gone completely off the map AWOL with it. Just taken the, electro pop badassery of some of those songs and just gone crazy, and not in a good way. After Look What You Made Me Do, I was convinced, okay, we've had 4 of her worst songs ever, ready for it, Endgame, I Did Something Bad, and Look What You Made Me Do, in the first 6 songs. So I was like, I could almost see this being worth the bad accolades of being called one of the worst albums ever, which I have seen thrown around, and I know it is not one of the worst albums ever, because after Look What You Made Me Do, it's generally not that bad, I'd say, apart from 1 or 2 exceptions. But generally, the track list from So It Goes onwards is okay. Gorgeous, what did you think of that song?
That was really the first one that I thought was actually good. Like, I know, like, Delicate was a single, right?
Yeah, it was. I thought that was good, but I understand completely
Like,
if people didn't think that.
it's not that I don't think it's good. I thought it was completely forgettable.
Fair.
And, like, Gorgeous was, like, it's kind of weird having a song that's, like, so, about like something as weird as like aggressive attraction, or like I don't even know what you would call it.
Well, it's weird because it is that, but it's also a really cute song in a way.
Yeah.
Like the lyrics are kind of silly, but they're also really catchy, and it has a really slick, neat instrumental. It just feels like a more positive song. And the track before it, So It Goes, that is a pretty standard, uninteresting song, but it is a quantum leap of quality after Look What You Made Me Do. This is just
Yeah.
a straight up good song. I can't fully say it's a great song, but it is one of my favourites. And then we got some nice lower key numbers. Dancing with Our Hands, Tide is a nice mood, good 80s nostalgia beat, good pace, pretty nice. Dress is kind of similar to Gorgeous, right? It's a bit of a slower, more sensual song. Like she does keep saying, "I only bought this dress so you could take it off." It kind of reminded me of the style of the album, kind of, just heat of the moment type Taylor.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I mean, this does feel like it was all written by somebody who just like wanted to get it all out there and get it done and over with.
Yeah, well, whatever approaching decent string of songs we had from So It Goes to Dress, it's all ruined by the fucking failure of This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things.
Yeah.
What a terrible song. Honestly, might be second worst after Look What You Made Me Do. Endgame, I Did Something Bad, and Ready for It all had slightly redeemable aspects. This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things is just a train wreck of a song. I had no idea what she thought she was going for with this one.
Yeah, I mean, this almost kind of feels like a dry run for I Forgot You Existed from Lover.
Yeah, and I've seen some people trash that song, but I actually quite like that song. I think it like attempts whatever she was going for here like a lot better. Kind of badass, edgy type song, but also kind of playful. That song, like
Yeah.
in that song, she says like, "I forgot you existed, not to be a dick, but I just did."
Yep. But like this one, like the trap hi-hats just really drag it down.
Yeah, this is just a horrifically childish chorus. There's no beat here. It's just some clicking rubbish.
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue what she was going for with this song. It's just, it's not even catchy, it's uncatchy. She just hammers in a chorus that is not catchy so many times. She can't force it to be catchy. Like I say, we're Taylor Swift fans, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God. But
Might not ever be able to show our faces at a Taylor Swift concert after this, but
moving on from that, there are some great songs on this album. I would say Getaway Car, Call It What You Want, and New Year's Day. Not sure if you'd agree with that, Cam, but just thought they were some really good songs.
they're all okay, but maybe it's just because like the album is so front loaded with garbage. By the time it got to like even some decent songs at the end, all I could think was, okay, this has more endings than Return of the King.
Yeah.
It could have ended like 4 tracks ago. That could have ended 5 tracks ago.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just frustrating. It's like maybe without the beginning weighing it down, maybe it would be lighter and breezier, and definitely wouldn't have the baggage of trying to make sense of what's going on in Taylor's head and in her behind the scenes life, just taking everything in total, I honestly think that, like, there's two songs that are good to great. That'd be Gorgeous and Getaway Car.
Okay.
And, like, the rest is either garbage or forgettable. So,
Okay, well, even though I've been trashing most of these very liberally, I actually have more highlights than you, which is very weird. It's like
yeah.
I'm more polarizing on it. I agree, Getaway Car is a great song. It's like right in the middle of the album after Gorgeous, so that's like a 1-2 punch of actually good songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a centerpiece of the album. Very upbeat,
Mm-hmm.
very up-tempo. She keeps talking in the song like the rush of robbing a place and getting away with a getaway car. It's like an analogy of the rush of excitement of robbing someone to the rush of love as well. Just really effective, that. And just the chorus is just really glorious, right? It's just really classic Taylor.
Yeah. However,
Oh no, I did not expect it,
I
however, to come after that.
I had to. It reminds me just a little too much of Out of the Woods.
Oh
So,
yeah,
like,
that's
I can't fully embrace it.
that's actually true. However, on this fucking album, I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
Okay. I also think Call It What You Want is just a decent, strong pop song. Nothing else to say. Just, I mean, it is the track after This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. So anything after that's going to sound good to me, maybe. I actually think the best song on the album, though, is New Year's Day, the last song. It's just Taylor and a piano. It's pretty telling that after all the modern production trickery and failures on the album, the strongest and most personal song for me is just Taylor and a piano, like on that song, New Year's Day. A good ending to a not good album.
Yeah, like, I would probably be more positive about that if it was on any other album, but it's just like, this is so confused, and it's confused and directionless. And so, like, when I get to this one, it's like, okay, that's what you're ending this album with. Like, I mean, it's not like it opened with "Look What You Made Me Do," but it still has that song on here.
Yeah,
And it's just like, it
I had to dig deep on this album to find some gems, really deep, towards the end of it mainly. So I can't defend this album in any way, really. Usually I don't like when people try and reduce stuff by saying, oh, I could cut down the White Album into a decent one disc album. I mean, you can do that and it probably would be better, but when there's more than one disc's worth of good material, it feels a bit redundant to me. This is one where, at least half of it is pretty damn bad, so an EP, maybe? Or maybe just hold off some of the stuff on here, and early recordings of stuff from Lover, maybe, would have been a good album. As it is, this is just not a good album.
you just want to slip right into your rating right there.
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10, I'd say. Yeah, just inexcusably bad stuff on here. But the thing is, there is a lot of decent stuff on here, like Don't Blame Me, Dress, So It Goes, Dancing with Our Hands Tied. There's a lot of like standard forgettable stuff that kind of makes it not truly terrible. But like I say, 5 of her worst songs in one album. I cannot recommend it, really. This is probably her worst album overall, right? I've not heard them all, but it has to be, right?
Yeah, I have heard all of her albums, and, like, there's something to recommend about all of them unless you have a stick the size of a giant redwood up your butt.
Yeah.
This is one of the most frustrating albums I've ever heard. Like, maybe I'd be even harsher on it if I wasn't a fan. Maybe I would be easier on it if I was a fan of Taylor from the beginning.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird caveats where you could either defend or attack it more or less.
Yeah, like, all I know is who I am and where I am now. And, like, I honestly don't think that there's that much to recommend on here. It's, just frustrating trying to take in everything that I know about this album and its sessions and the person behind it and everything. And there's just, like, no clear way to resolve it to make it make sense and just stop being frustrating. So yeah, I am going to just give it a flat 4 out of 10. Alright, so that was our thoughts on Taylor Swift's Reputation. Thanks for tuning into Busted Speakers, everybody. Leave us a like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more of our album reviews. You can follow us on Twitter at _BustedSpeakers. You can follow me on Twitter at SubProspector. Thanks for listening, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
See you guys.